Hello everybody, my name is Chris Reynolds. I'm an Associate Professor of Automotive Technology at Lewis and Clark Community College located in Godfrey, Illinois. What I want to do today is run you through how to locate Pico7 software, download it, install it, and explore the features that are integrated into this new version of Pico. So to begin, you're going to go to picoauto.com. You'll notice I've got it highlighted up here in the browser. Once you're at this point, you're going to select Downloads, scroll down to Pico7 Stable, and then begin the download for Windows or Mac, whatever your preferred version is. So now you can see on the screen the download has completed. I'm going to go ahead and open the file. And select Install. And yes, I know you can't see it on my screen, but user account control, I am going to allow this app to make changes on my device. All right, so the software evaluation license, all of this is integrated. If you want to review this, it's perfectly fine and understandable. I'm going to let you know I've used Pico for almost 2 decades as a student and technician. I'm going to go ahead and hit accept the terms of the license agreement and run the continuous install. All right, so less than a minute wait to do the install. I'm going to select finish. And installation successfully completed. Now, if I minimize my browser, you're going to see that Pico7 Automotive and also Pico Diagnostics were included in the Pico7 download. We're going to explore Pico7 Automotive today, though. Now that the icons are located on our desktop, I'm going to go ahead and select Pico7 Automotive. On this menu list for connecting device, if I had my DSO plugged in, I'd be able to see it show up and generate on the screen. For today, I'm going to activate demo mode. So demo is selected. I'm going to select OK. And now we should be running some waveforms in live demo mode. One thing I want to call out, the guided testing features are something that Pico has done a phenomenal job of integrating into the Pico software. As we've seen in past versions of Pico 6 and now on 7, if you have questions about testing anything along these menu items, you can select the tabs, open up instructions on how to make your connections with your probes, what normal waveforms look like, how to make connections to the circuit. So very user-friendly platform. So you can explore the guided test at a later time. What I want to do right now is show you the new layout with Pico7 software and how it's different from previous versions. First thing you'll notice on the screen here, I don't have my channels running from left to right in a horizontal manner. They've all been moved to a vertical column on the left-hand side of the screen. So if I want to go and activate channels individually, these are all preset in demo mode. I can hit the positive button. That's showing me the measurable range. It's displayed in demo mode. I can hit the positive button again. So we've got 4 channels displayed right now. We've got an injector control circuit. We should have on channel B injector amperage. Channel C, we've got an ignition waveform, and channel D resembles right now a position sensor waveform that's pretty common. So what I want to do now is show you how to arrange variations on the display, such as voltage, time, and trigger point. So we're going to start with voltage. The first thing I want to do, though, is decrease the amount of channels displaying on the screen right now. So I'm going to turn channel C off, and I'm also going to turn channel D off. So now we just have our injector control circuit, voltage-wise, and then our injection circuit for amperage flowing through the circuit itself. This is not an attenuated probe for channel A in demo mode, so if I don't have an option to increase the scaling, but I do have an option to decrease the scaling. But notice I get a call out immediately that says channel over range. Channel B here, I'm using a simulated 20 amp probe, and I can actually bump the scaling up. So you're going to see this reduce in size, but our scaling range is going to go from plus or minus 2 amps to now plus or minus 5 amps. If I want to adjust the time base on the screen, you'll notice there's a time base call out. So essentially, right now it's at 10 milliseconds per division. So I've got 10 of these graticules across the screen, left to right. If I increase that time base, you're going to see more information displayed across the graticules. Bump the time base up again to 20 milliseconds, increase the time base again to 50 milliseconds, and you can see we're adding more and more information to the display of the screen. And now we got to consider trigger. So essentially what a trigger is a starting point on the display of the screen for your reference. Notice as I move the trigger cursor from left to right across the screen, a few things are happening. The starting point for the waveform should generate in this area. Also, I've got a channel A rising trigger, meaning when voltage climbs. It's a simple edge and automatic feature. It's triggered at 26 volts on a rising edge. So I'm going to actually drop this down a little bit and give it some more stability on the screen. As I adjust from left to right across the graticules, you'll see the percentage of the trigger point actually changes. So 18%, and we can try to max it out or get close to it over here, 93%. So the trigger, again, is just a reference point for your waveform to be illustrated on the screen, a starting point for the waveform. The next time I want to explore is the buffer. So you'll notice right now it says running. I'm going to freeze it, and I'm going to run the Pico again. Right here in this area, you're going to see the waveform count goes up. So what this buffer is doing essentially is temporarily storing information. So I've got all my time counts and displays of captures on the screen from left to right. And again, this is temporary storage of information. This is not permanently stored. However, if you wanted to save the waveform, you do have the option, as we'll see later, to save the current screen or all the screens that were captured that were stored in the buffer on the scope. One thing I will note about using a buffer, though, as mentioned previously, this is temporary storage. If I run the demo mode again, I can see my waveform count right now on 2 channels is going to go up to around 127 screens. As I increase the amount of channels I am using, I'm going to see that the waveforms captured gets reduced pretty significantly. So if you don't need extra channels to temporarily store that information, just go ahead and turn those channels back off and focus on just the channels that you're needing help in diagnosing. So next thing I want to show you is how to add notes. If I select notes down here, you'll notice I get a little menu item that pops up down below. I'm just going to put channel A, injector control, channel B, injector current. This just gives me the ability to reference what I'm capturing in the waveforms, or if I need assistance from somebody else, notes that I can provide may help them in interpreting the waveforms that are being saved and shared. So now that we've explored some of the unique features that are integrated into Pico7 in the layout, I want to show you the options that come along with saving a file. So right now, as called out earlier, we've got options for waveform selection. Do I want to focus on all of the waveforms, the current waveform that's on the display right now, or do I want to choose a unique range? Here, I'm going to name this file Pico7 demo, and just for my reference, I can label the channels individually if I wanted to select injector control on the ground side for channel A, and channel B was listed as injector current. Those notes can be called out. I do have the ability to save them as good, bad, or unknown, and I can include more details about the vehicle I am testing. Once that is done, I can select Save, and the file will be stored on my PC. Something else that's unique, if I go back into the Save menu here in a moment, you'll notice that I have a Save and Upload option. If I want to upload these files, let's say to the Pico forum, I want to go back to the Picoscope 6 website or the Pico7 website. Here, I go into the forum, and to begin the registration process going into the forum, you can share your files. They have a generic term agreement. Once you accept the terms of that agreement, then you'll be able to share the files that you've saved and stored on your laptop or your PC or your Windows or your Mac machine, and share those to the group for support. So now that you've seen how to download Pico7, install it, activate demo mode, activating the channels, rearranging the display for things like voltage, time, and trigger points, explored the buffer, added notes, and saved the file, and also how to register for a Pico forum if you want to share your files, I just recommend that you explore Pico7, you get comfortable with it, and use it daily as a technician or technician educator. See you later.